Hello and welcome to part 6 of the quadratic series I am doing. For this part, we're not going to take something new. Actually, we're going to focus on solving. So this whole video is going to be purposefully all for solving quadratic equations, okay, using factorization. I'll be solving lots of questions, lots of different difficulties, and inshallah, hopefully you will benefit. Okay, so let's start by taking the first example. Let's say question says solve the following. So first question is x squared plus x minus 6 equal 0. So we're using factorization. Okay, so first thing, this question, a is equal to 1. So this is the easy type of factorization. As we see here, a is 1, and we usually don't write the 1. Okay, so since a is 1, what we're gonna do, the first step is we're gonna look at this sign. We found that it's a negative sign, hence we will take two values, two factors of 6 that subtract to the middle value. What is the middle value? The middle value is 1. So we need two factors of 6 that their difference is 1, and continuing, you will find that those two factors are 2 and 3. 2 times 3 is 6, and the difference between 3 and 2 is 1. So I will open my bracket, I will put my first x, second x, I'll put my first factor and the second factor. Again, I will look at this sign. Since it's a minus sign, the bigger factor will win the middle sign. So the bigger factor is 3, it will win the middle sign, which is plus. So the 3 is going to take the plus and the other one is going to take the minus. This is equal to 0, so I have an x minus 2 equals 0, giving me an x1 of 2, and then x plus 3 equals 0, giving me an x2 of minus 3. So let's take another example. Let's take this question. So x squared plus 9x plus 20 equals 0. Again, this is the case where we have a is equal to 1. So right away, we're going to take a look at this sign. We found that it's a plus, so we need two factors of 20 that add up to 9. Is 1 and 20 going to work? No, because 1 plus 20 is 21. If you check the factors, you can see that 5 times 4 is 20 and 5 plus 4 is 9. So these are my correct factors. I will open the bracket, put an x, first factor, second factor. I will again look at this sign. Since it's a plus, both signs, both factors, the 5 and the 4, will take the middle sign. So whatever the middle sign is, it will be for both. So since the middle sign is a positive, the 5 is going to take a plus and the 4 is going to take a plus. This is equal to 0. So I have x plus 5 equals 0, giving me an x1 of minus 5. And then x plus 4 equals 0, giving me an x2 of negative 4. Let's take another example. We have an x squared plus 5x plus 6 equals 0. Again, it's a case of a equals 1. I will look at the sign. It's a plus. I need two factors that add up to 5 since it's a plus. So I know that 2 plus 3 is 5 and 2 times 3 is 6. I will put my brackets, x and x, first factor, second factor. Again, since this is a plus, they will both take the middle sign, so both will take a plus since the middle sign is a plus. So I have an x plus 2 equals 0, giving me an x1 of negative 2, and x plus 3 equals 0, so x2 is negative 3. This is, by the way, as moving this 2 to the other side, so it becomes negative, or basically subtracting 2 from both sides, so this cancels. I have an x and the other side is minus 1. Okay, let's take the next example. Let's take an x squared minus 7x plus 12 equals 0. Again, first step, I will take a look at this sign. Since this is an a equals 1. It's a plus. I need two factors of 12 that add up to 7. So I have a 3 and a 4. I will open my brackets, x, x, 3, and 4. Since this is a plus, both will take the middle sign, so both will become minus. This is equal 0. So my first bracket equating it to 0 will give me an x1 of positive 3, and the second bracket equating it to 0 will give me an x2 of 4, positive 4. Okay. Let's continue. Let's take this example. So we have a 2x squared minus 9x plus 4. Okay, this is a little different than what we have solved for the previous 4 questions. So here I know that a is not equal to 1. So my first step is no longer looking at this sign and getting the factors and doing so on and so forth. My first step is going to be multiplying this number by this number. So I will have a 2 times 4, which is going to give me an 8. Okay, so this 8 right now, I will get two factors, okay, that add up to the middle sign. Why add up? Because this sign is a plus. Again, so I will multiply 2 and 4. They will give me an 8. I will then look at this sign. It's a plus, so I need two factors of 8 that will add up to the middle term, which is 9. And I know that these two factors are 8 and 1. Now, the second step, let's continue here, is I'm going to rewrite this negative 9x into these factors. And again, since this is a plus, both the 8 and the 1 will take the middle sign. The middle sign is a minus, so I will have a minus 8x, and I will have a minus 1x or minus x. So basically, I'm rewriting it, including those two factors. Minus 8x, minus x, and then I have a plus 4. Right now, I'm going to group these two together, and then we can add a plus here and group these two together. So I will take a look at this first bracket. I will try to take something out common, and I know taking a 2x out common, which is basically dividing everything by 2x inside this first bracket. So 2x squared divide 2x is basically x, and then minus 8x divide 2x is minus 4. Okay, and then I have this plus, and then in the second bracket I have a minus x plus 4. There is nothing I can take out. However, in order to make this bracket exactly the same as this bracket, I'm going to take a minus 1 out from this bracket right here. So rewriting, this is going to be 2x times x minus 4, and then I will take a minus 1 out. Negative x divide minus 1 is x, and then 4 divide minus 1 is minus 4. That way, I have my two brackets here, x minus 4 and x minus 4 alike, and that will allow me to take x minus 4 as a common between this term and this term. So when I take x minus 4 out, I'm dividing essentially each term by x minus 4. So dividing the first term by x minus 4, it will leave me with a 2x, and then dividing the next term, the second term, by x minus 4 is going to leave me with a minus 1. So basically, I factorized my equation into this form. So now I can equate it to 0 and take the first bracket equals 0 will give me an x1 of 4, and the second bracket equals 0. I will add 1 to both sides, so that's going to be 2x equals 1, and then I will divide by 2, so x2 is going to be equal to half. Okay, a little bit more difficult than the case where we have a equals 1, but definitely doable. Okay, let's take another example. So 6, let's take this example, 2x squared plus 7x minus 15. So as we know, this is a case of a is not equal to 1. So the first step is multiplying my a and my c. So 2 times 15 is 30. Second step is I'm going to look at this sign. Since it's a minus, I'm going to take 2 factors of 30 that subtract to 7. So what 2 factors of 30 subtract to 7? Let's check. So 30 divide 5 is 6, no. Divide, let's say 15 is 2. Divide 10, yeah. So 30 is 10 times 3, and I know that the difference between 10 and 3 is 7, so these are my 2 factors. Okay, so in order to write them inside the equation, I will need to look at this sign to figure out their signs. So since this is a minus, again, the bigger factor is going to win the middle sign. So the bigger factor is 10, is going to win the plus, so it's going to be a plus. And the other one, which is 3, is going to be a minus. So 2x squared, instead of 7x, I will write a plus 10x and a minus 3x, and then I have my minus 15. Again, from here, I can group this, then I can add a plus. Okay, in this term, I will try to take something out common. So here I will take out a 2x as common, which is essentially dividing this whole bracket by 2x. So 2x squared divide 2x is basically x. And then positive 10x divide 2x is basically plus 5. And then the second bracket, I can take a minus 3 out. So basically dividing everything by minus 3. So minus 3x divide minus 3 is basically x, and minus 15 divide minus 3 is basically plus 5. Again, since this is factorizable, we will find that this bracket and this bracket are the same. Hence, I can take x plus 5 as common from all of these terms. So if I take an x plus 5 out, is essentially dividing everything by x plus 5. So I will have a 2x times x plus 5 divide x plus 5 is going to leave me with 2x, and then minus 3 times x plus 5 divide x plus 5 is going to give me a minus 3. So this is my factorized form, and this is going to help me in solving. X plus 5 equals 0, so x1 equals minus 5, and a 2x minus 3 equals 0, so 2x equals 3. So x2 second second x is going to equal 3 over 2. Right. Let's take another example. Okay, let's take this interesting example. 2x squared minus 50 equals 0. Okay, this case we don't have a b. This case is actually simple because all I have to do is move this 50 to the other side. I'll have a 2x squared equals 50. Okay, and I will divide by 2, so x squared equals 25, and then I can square root both sides. This is going to give me an x equals plus or minus 5, so my x1 equals 5 and x2 equals minus 5. This is solving, but however not by factorization. If I would like to solve by factorization, I will come here, I will look, I will take something out common, so I can take a 2 out common. Actually, no, this is also going to give me the same answer. So x squared minus 25 equals 0. I can divide both sides by 2, so this 2 cancels out. So I have an x squared minus 25 equals 0. So if I look here, this is a difference of 2 squares, and we know that difference of 2 squares can be written like this: square root of the first minus square root of the second, and then square root of the first plus square root of the second. So this is the factorized form, and if I will solve, I will find that x minus 5 equals 0, x plus 5 equals 0, giving me an x1 of 5 and an x2 of minus 5. Okay. Let's take a look at one final example. Let's say we have a 24x squared plus 19x plus 20 equals 0, and we're asked to solve and get the x's. So again, this case is a case of a not equal to 1. So the first step is multiplying 24 times 2, which is going to give me a 48. So 48, I will then take a look at this sign. I will need two factors that add up to 19 since this is a plus. So we can try 48 divide, let's say, 8. No. 48 divide 9. Divide 12. No. Divide 13. No. This is a trial and error basically. Divide 16. Yes. So I know that 16 times 3 is going to give me 48, and I know that 16 plus 3 is going to give me 19. So these are my two factors. Let's now look again at this sign. Since it's a plus, they will both take the middle sign, so they will both be a plus. So I will rewrite my equation as 24x squared. Instead of 19x, I will write in terms of those two factors. We know that they're both a plus, so 16 x plus 3x plus this 2 equals 0. Again, I will group those two and those two. So I can take something out common out of this first bracket. I can take 4, is it? No, I can take an 8 out. So I can take an 8x out. 24x squared divide 8x is basically 3x. And a 16x divide 8 is basically, divide 8x is basically plus 2. Then we have a plus 3x plus 2. I have nothing to take out from this bracket, and it's already the same as this first bracket in the first term. So now I can take a 3x plus 2 out common from everything. So this first term divided 3x plus 2 is going to leave me with an 8x. And this second term divided 3x plus 2 is going to leave me with 1, because 3x plus 2 divided itself is 1. This is equal 0. First bracket is 3x plus 2 equals 0. 3x equals minus 2. So x1 equals negative 2 over 3. And then for the second bracket, I will have an 8x plus 1 equals 0. So 8x equals minus 1. Then an x, second x is going to be negative 1 over 8. I hope you understood, and I hope you found this beneficial. Please, if you have any questions, leave them in the comments down below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more. Thank you for watching, and good luck.